Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. My name is Chiké, Frankie, Edozien, and I just want to welcome you to Afrolit Frontières, our virtual literary festival. First and foremost, it's just an honor, and I'm really, really grateful for everyone who has tuned in this past week, supporting writers and supporting our work, and just immersing yourselves in books in this time of uncertainty and definitely a lot of sadness for a lot of people. I've always been one who said that books saved my life, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity that all of you have given us writers to share our work with you. The topic for today is displacement and microorganisms, and I'm going to be reading from my memoir, The Lives of Great Men. This is available all over the world. But since I am today in Accra, Ghana, I'll be reading from the West African edition. This is brought to us by the wonderful people at Reader Books, so thank you everyone at Reader Books. And just a little preamble, the story that I'm about to share with you is about a young man, Etienne, who I met many, many years ago when I was a foreign student in Paris. And I had sought out and made friends with the black community there. And Etienne at the time was someone who we met, and I'd like to say we fell in love, but we sort of fell in like, and I was having a lot of difficulty trying to have any kind of relationship with him because at the time he was married to this French lady, and he also had a mistress, another French lady, and then he had a boyfriend, a young French man. So I was just sort of like, well, where is Chiké going to fit in all this situation? And his response to me at the time was, je suis un roi, I am Congolese, this is what we do, and you should get on the bandwagon. Anyway, we became friends, and the story that I'm going to read from is about 20 years after our initial meeting. He comes to visit me in New York, and his life has changed significantly, but this is where sort of like the displacement comes in. So if you have the book, I am reading from the chapter that is called Mon Grand, L'amoureux africain. And so here goes. In recent years, Etienne has evolved into a world traveler. He regales me with tales of his exploits and is always WhatsApping me photos from far-flung excursions. He routinely returns to West Africa. He has developed a real fondness for Senegal, and he and Didier are quickly making it their base when not in Paris. Didier is his partner. They have built a small bungalow there. On occasion, I turned over my Brooklyn apartment to Etienne and his friends. When not with Didier, he likes to travel with a small entourage. Invariably, there is a side romance going on with someone in his travel group. Even though he lives in the multicultural city of lights and travels so much, his friends and romances remain very Eurocentric. On one of his visits, I take him to an event in Fort Greene Park in Brooklyn. The Soul Summit Music Festival is an all-day party held on occasional Saturdays in the summer. And though it is not a specifically gay event, we find tons of gay black men there, dancing in the sun. As they twirl the afternoon away, more and more hipster heterosexuals join in. The demographics of Fort Greene have begun to change. Gentrification is taking hold, and what was for years a predominantly black artistic enclave is now more mixed. Even seniors and other regular park users gravitate towards the music. Soul Summit is a Brooklyn party with a carnival ambience, and there are barbecue pits and food stalls just steps away from the dancing area. The sun is blazing, and many men are shirtless, serving up a buffet of buff with nary a whiff of self-consciousness. House music is pumping, and when folks aren't dancing, They stand on the sidelines chatting, smoking, and flirting. The scent of marijuana wafts across the afternoon, and everyone looks happy. It reminds me of the glory days of the by now defunct Octagon nightclub. Etienne gazes at these uninhibited black men with such an intensity, one would think he had been caged up for years and had just been released. Yet he makes no move to chat anyone up. Instead, he remains at my side, dancing with me for hours. If I don't introduce him to someone, he just stares. His normally macho tendency to go and get what he wants is not on display today. It's not about language. In New York, his French accent is always an icebreaker when we are out, and he's never shy. But today, he says little and is subdued. Yet, he seems pleased to be there and is certainly enjoying dancing. He looks ravishing in his tight blue muscle t-shirt, loose long jeans, and Adidas whites. Suddenly, as I'm shaking my hips on the dance floor, my hands up in the air, my head bobbing, and my ass wriggling to the beat, Etienne pulls me close with his arms around my waist, whispers, "Mon grand." The music is blasting, the tempo is fast, and in the middle of the crowd, he's attempting to slow dance with me. His lips close to my ear, he laments what he calls the fact that we could have been like these couples all around us if we had only gotten over our hang-ups and I had moved to Paris all those years ago when he was still married. Or if he had left everything behind and moved to New York. I'm thinking to myself, does he really want to have this conversation now, as we're dancing in the middle of thousands of people? And he's messing up my rhythm by getting all lovey-dovey on the dance floor when I just want to shake it. But I smile brightly and joke that he refused to move here because he's too haughty to sell things on the streets like other Francophone immigrants who don't yet have a strong command of the language. It's a running joke between us, but he's not smiling this time. Rather, he seems to be seriously pondering what could have been. And so here we are, tightly embracing each other as if in slow dancing to Marvin Gaye, while everyone around us is flailing their arms in a house music-induced ecstasy. I understand how he feels. Even though he came out years ago, Etienne can't bring himself to delve into Paris's gay black community, or even consider a romance with another black man. Most days, he doesn't think about it. But here, amidst so many potentially available, uninhibitedly out black gay men, he is feeling the sting of regret. All these years, the loss or potential loss of his community has hung over him, threatening a violent downpour at any moment, a hurricane that never manifested. And if it happens, he could have dealt with it. Hindsight vision is 20/20, they say. Trying to wrangle a smile out of him, I say there are now many out gay African guys in Paris. He doesn't need me. He looks me in the eye. "Oh, no, chérie. Tu es l'amour africain," he says, insisting that I was and remain his sole African love. And that's it. He would rather date and fuck non-Africans than deal with the baggage he's still carrying. And after all these years, even though he's been all over the globe, he's never returned to the Democratic Republic of Congo. And he has no plans to. So when we talk about displacement, I often think about other LGBTQ Africans who have left their homes, left their families, left their friends, and just sort of exist under the threat of being cut off for living their through lives. And that's sort of was Etienne's story. So yeah, thanks for listening. The book is called Lives of Great Men. It's available wherever you get your books. And I think we'll have some questions now.